I want to know, how did the actual divorce take place? Did you grant the kula because you just gave up, or did they say, oh, you didn't have witnesses, so Jelani said that she's divorced? Like, what? How did the divorce actually happen?
Well, that was when he called and told me that. He told me that, but I went. Even though he told me that in that phone conversation, I was already done with the incident that happened. So I didn't even care. Like it was official at that phone conversation me and that brother had. But even though it was official that he said, yeah, she got the coolest done. Before he even said that, I was already like furious on what just took place. So they could have, it could have.
So just to be clear, Jelani, who's your Qadi in your case, granted your wife a kula without even hearing any testimony or case from you, the husband.
Right.
So
with that incident that happened, like I said, that incident was broke the camel's back, and to this very day, I look at them like who could do that? Like you have to have some really type, you got to have some serious guts to do that. That's like, to me, that's like some Jeffrey Dahmer type stuff.
Yeah,
so,
it's well,
so and there actually is a hadith, and even in the Quran, Allah talks about Dawood alayhi salam, in which two disputants. Basically, this is the thing: whenever two people come, or there's a claim made, it's incumbent upon the judge in the case to hear both sides. You must do it. This is against the Sunnah. This is against Islam. This is wrong. And a perfect guide should never make this mistake. But to try to give the benefit of the doubt in this case, there are some things that possibly could be so egregious or to a level in which there's no coming back for the woman, or perhaps he could have made a mistake in making the judgment and not talking to you because of the reason for why she asked for the kular. So what was the reason for her asking for a kular? I mean, did you commit some sort of crime? I mean,
I didn't commit no crime. I'm innocent. I was on the council. I was trying to be an upstanding Muslim. I'm trying to be the best version of myself. It was all lies.
Okay, so the thing is this. What I'm getting to is that perhaps, for instance, if you were seen on camera robbing a bank or killing a bunch of people or doing something that Jelani could have said, okay, we see that your brother, he's been locked up or whatever, he's on the run or case YZ, and then she goes to him and asks for a kular because I don't want to be married to a person like that. Then perhaps I can see where it might make sense for them not to say, hey, I'm not going to talk to this brother. Just go ahead. You're free because this is this type of person. Now, what was the reason why she asked for a divorce?
From what they said, and which is a lie. That's why I'm on the platform.
She didn't ask you for a divorce?
No, it went to the sheikh.
So she never said to you, hey, honey, baby, whatever the case may be.
No.
So the first you heard about your wife wanting a divorce was from somebody else?
Yeah, of course. But the thing was, it was talked about that I had them living in the worst conditions. Like, this is crazy. Like, I had the biggest trailer on the land. I had 3 bedrooms. I was working in corrections. I was making decent money out there. Like, what are you talking about?
And if
anybody's gonna live in bad conditions, I'm gonna be in bad conditions myself.
Right.
If you can't take care of wife, you sure enough can't take care of yourself.
So she okay. So
and
I was
married for over at that time we was married almost close to 10 years. So 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 8 years you've been living in this type of condition, and the 10th year you want to say, oh yeah, you know what? I think it's time for me to get up out of here. Well, why I would have got up out there in 3 weeks. Like 10 years.
Okay,
didn't you mention that just to me you mentioned that, so like the case that she brought, or they brought, which it seems like more that you had her in bad living conditions, but after you left, they in worse conditions currently than they was if I was there. But then someone moved right into your house after you left?
The brother moved in my $15,000 little trailer. He moved in there. So what kind of conditions was he living to move in a condition that I supposedly be in a deplorable condition? I wouldn't move in behind somebody else. I made totally revamp the whole thing and all this old crazy. Like I said, once the brother came and did the back door to me, I left for a year or so, and I'm hearing all this other craziness. Like, who does this? So this was all planned in the beginning. When a person does something to you, it was in them. The seed was planted in them since day one. You know what I'm saying? I cannot be around nobody that's gonna pray next to me and do all this foolishness. And then you wake up in the morning, see me on the land, hey, Assalamu alaikum, Maki, how you doing? What? Are you crazy? they would not do this to a non-Muslim. They would not do this. The rules are totally different when you deal with these knuckleheads out here in the street. And the dude that did it to me, he knows better. He comes
So-
from the junior. He's
But
from
here's the
Philly.
thing. Here's the thing that I want to, and I'm with you 100%. But here's the one thing that we got to address from the R2F standpoint is we try our best to associate the problem or the blame directly with who should be responsible for it. So, like, what responsibility do you hold to Mubarak Jelani, who's the one that was actually the overseer of your divorce? Because I'm telling you right now that this was not done without his permission or his guidance.
You're right. And the thing is, like, I try to be a man, and like I tell people, man, I tell the young guys, man, always be 10 toes down. So basically, the worst thing that I would say out of this whole thing is that I chose this foolishness. You know what I'm saying? I ignored the red flags. You know, I'm not gonna hold nobody accountable and point to, yeah, he did this to me. Oh my God, this and that. I took it like a man, and I'm gonna continue to be a man. You know what I'm saying? These knuckleheads, why did they get on their own platform and say, you know, Lawrence Whiteley is this, Lawrence Whiteley is that, Lawrence Whiteley did this? They can't do that. You know, they're not gonna do that. You know, and we can have an open debate or and discuss this like men, but they're not gonna do that. You know, one brother, the brother that moved in my trailer, he called me like 4 or 5 years ago or whatever. Matter of fact, 2 years ago, my son, they took my son, put him in a shed, locked him up and all this old crazy, and say he was possessed and all this. I didn't hear from my children maybe about 3 years ago. I wasn't hearing about them for a long time. You know, now I'm hearing about this. And then the dude that's supposed to be a hafiz, I had my son for 1 year. He came up here to Indiana for 1 year, and I asked him, try to, get back to, time with him and everything. He explained to me his own words. Allah Ta'ala be my witness. This man handcuffed him to a bed and beat him, on the land. So you gonna tell me I have you living in crazy conditions for how many years, but yet this man been married to you for however years, obviously a shorter period of time, and he takes your own flesh and blood and beats him however he does, handcuffed to a bed. But I'm the guy that needs to be vanquished from a community, and he leads Juma. He leads you in Juma. He leads you in Salano. And here we go again. Salam alaikum, Maki. How you doing? How you doing?
Well,
what do you mean how I'm doing? How you doing? What are you doing?
Apparently, this same guy can easily refute everything that you're saying, that R2F is saying, that everybody has been saying with easily the Quran and the Sunnah, but he refuses to actually do so, as everybody in TMOA does. But I really want to know what, because like I said, everybody's in different positions, and you have people that are, the tip of the sword, the side of the sword, the handle of the sword. But what do you have to say about the person that's actually swinging the sword? Because the person who did this, the one that's in charge of all this, is Mubarak Jelani. And this is the thing that's holding people inside of TMOA. So what do you have to say to people that are like, okay, I'm staying in the community because Mubarak Jelani is teaching me such great Islam. He has guided us. He saved my family. All these different things that are being said about this man from our stance that has clearly taught shirk, has taught bid'ah, has brought people away from the Holy Quran and the Sunnah, and has been a part of abusing people for 4 decades. Because like your forced divorce is a long stream of forced divorces that's been happening for 4 decades. Like what happened to you, something similar happened to me, my brother, my friend. It's not anything new, to the point of when you say this, the old heads say that ain't nothing new. That's always been happening. So what is your position with Mubarak Jelani himself?
I mean, I have no gripe because the man is not here. I'm not going to even go that far. It is what it is where we at now, and that's that. I'm not in that community like that, so I'm not going to say, I can't. I ain't got that in my heart to say, he's this, he's that. It happened. I didn't get. The problem was the medium between the administration and the people was always distorted. So he may have said X, Y, Z. They come back and say J K L M N O P. But I ain't. Trust me, I'm not bitter. I'm bitter because I don't know who does that and be so low and does things like that and then hides behind a religion. That's like
cult
leaders. I mean, did you want to come on today to kind of just talk vent about Hassan Ali, or did you I'm a little bit confused, brother. I mean, we all know who this person is. That's number one.
We already know he knows. So I mean,
number one.
Wait. Hassan Ali. His name is Hassan Ali.
Hassan.
So I'm making Hassan Ali.
Yeah, come on and refute that.
Please do. We're welcome, you guys.
Refute everything by
Where is he at? He's in.
No, he's he'll watch it. He's gonna watch it.
But me and him already met face to face. He came up here to Indiana with her to pick up my son, and then he had some words, and he didn't even look at me. And I said, "Yo, what's going on with this, that, and the third?" And he said, "It wasn't like that, yada yada." So I approached him. This is when COVID-19 was this is when lockdown. It was And so when I approached him, he ran in the elevator. You know, it was look. I had no problems with that.
Well, I want to.
Okay, let's try to boil this down, because I feel like, really, we, to be honest with you, we really want to get to the bottom of opening people's eyes to the problems with the things that Jelani himself is teaching and the beliefs of Tmoa. But I get the feeling, because you don't necessarily want to address Jelani directly, and some people have that issue. They say he's dead, he's gone, whatever the case may be. I think that's a mistake, but we'll put that aside for now, and we will give some time for what it seems like you want to get to the bottom of anyway. So I have some questions about this whole divorce, and then another man moving into your trailer and stuff. When your wife asked for the divorce, was she in Egypt or was she in Virginia, or where were they?
In the United States, yeah.
In the United States. And you were in the United States too. Where were you living when she asked for the divorce? Were you living in the trailer?
Yeah, I was staying in the trailer.
So she asked for the divorce, got it, then you moved out?
Yep.
You were kicked out, or did you leave by yourself?
I got kicked out, man. These people
okay.
I needed my freedom. I needed my freedom. So I think the best move for me was to leave, because it would have been.
I want to add some context to the story that you may already know or not, because of who I'm connected to with certain people. Was family members with people that were in administration, and just for everybody knows this, they're part of TMOA. The people that tell all the information and people's secret business are the actual administrators. Like they come home and say, hey, guess what case we just listened to? And then they tell their brother and their brother-in-law, sister-in-law, cousin, and then it gets spread off to the community. Everybody's like, how's my business out there? Well, because the people you told everybody.
It's so like Casey confidentiality. So.
Yeah, exactly. So just some context. We already talked about, so the sister's name is Sophia. Assalamu alaikum, Sophia. Assalamu alaikum, Hassan Ali. They were part of a group that went to Pakistan, and this is part of the group that's referred to as the Azhar scholars. Mm-hmm. And these scholars were over there, supposedly attending Azhar. But to attend Azhar, just like any college, you have to pass what is called a GED, a general equivalency, whatever. They had to show that they had the basic education of a Muslim that graduated high school, pretty much, which means you know how to read and speak Arabic, basic Quran and certain things like that, right? This is the schools that they went to get admitted into Azhar, right? But while they're over there, they're struggling financially, different things were coming up, so they all moved into a house together in one apartment, men and women sharing facilities, going out to eat. Like the sister was buying the brother birthday presents, different types of things like this, right? So in the administration eyes, because Hassan Ali is somebody that he's learned before he went over there, he was always referred to as the Hafiz, because he had like half the Quran memorized. It was a better matchup for them to have these two people that are attending Azhar as Jamaat scholars to be together. So what happens is, we just heard the story about how they forced a divorce, right? Didn't go about it the right way. And say, oh, get your witnesses. When he gets his witnesses, the administration goes and says, you better not be a witness, or I'm going to divorce your wife from you too. This is all coming down from the top of Sheikh Jelani. And if it's not, go ahead and publicly say it didn't. Say you did something that Sheikh Jelani didn't command. They forced a divorce, kicked the brother out the land, move his ex-wife's brother into his house, or they move the brother into the house, takes the house over, right? Now the sister's in debt. Now here's another part of the story. There's other brothers, while she was divorced, because they had to wait some time for public appearances before they hitched her to Hassan Ali. She actually got interested in somebody else. But when they were actually talking about getting married, the administration intervened and said, basically, you cannot marry this individual. You have to marry Hassan Ali. So now in this situation, you have improprieties facilitated and known about by the administration, the top in Egypt, people intermingling, a forced divorce, a forced breakup of people that are genuinely interested in getting married, and now a forced marriage. And this is, if anybody's watching and you're like, this is sounding crazy, this is what happens in cults. And then people just go about their day like this is normal business. This is not normal, people. And I know the brother doesn't want to, Nadim doesn't want to mention anything about Jelani because he's passed, and people take that. That's a good to take the safe route. But we can say that whoever is in charge of people that are doing these things is, one, either evil, or two, incompetent. You pick.
Ignorant of the religion, complete jahil, gotta be. And the thing is, the punishment for the person making rulings on Islamic matters without knowledge is a severe one. So a person cannot say, "Oh, I'm going to judge," and they don't have any clue how to go about giving Islamic rulings. You're giving fatwa, you're giving divorces and things, and you don't know what you're doing. Allah's going to punish that person for doing that. So, and this is we can try to blame the Khalifa Khalil or Hassan Ali, all these people. All these people are just mere pieces that are moved around, but the blame falls on the one who can make the decision to yay or nay in one moment, and everybody's going to fall in. If Jelani said you two are going to stay together, y'all probably would still be together today, and the brother wouldn't be up in your trailer and chilling and, you know what I mean, hanging out. But that wasn't the case, and it really falls down to him. None of these people are going to be making any of these moves and decisions if Jelani doesn't want to. And if he was the person who was supposed to rule on your case, he did not. To be honest, we haven't. I have no. I have not spoken to the lady or anything, so we'll just take it on the information that we have. But if what you say and what they say is the case, then he was definitely wrong in the way they went about granting the divorce. It seems like that you did not. Well, at least initially, release her. So yeah, he definitely was wrong. But so if we can move a little bit further. So you went ahead and left, and they moved into your house and eventually lived happily ever after. But so is the reason why you are not in TMOA because of the way your marriage went down and was dissolved and broken apart, or is it because of your understanding of Al-Islam? I mean, that's an honest question, because to be honest with you, I haven't heard anything as far as you kind of have I don't want to say defended Jelani, but you have sidestepped it, and you haven't really addressed the fact that he's leading people or saying things that are incorrect according to our understanding. So perhaps that's not your understanding. Perhaps what you've learned from him or heard him say or whatever is all Quran and Sunnah, and it's on the hawk. So if that's the case, you can make it plain. But I'm a little confused as far as to whether or not you would still be in TMOA if you were still married to someone in TMOA.
That's impossible. I wouldn't be in MOA. Like, you gotta. I mean, I'm an independent thinker, so like when I see foolishness, I gotta get away from it. Plus, I was born in Harlem, raised in Brooklyn, so like you have more. I'm not saying you have more sakin, but you have different type of sakin with people from these type of areas than supposedly quote unquote people on the land and different that with those differences, because it gets handled totally different. There's no Sharia in those places. There's no piety. How you say you pious and you doing foolishness like this? Why would I even want to be in that type of situation with these people doing underhanded stuff like that? I mean, just to me. I mean, I'm not even saying we're not even gonna go with this person, that person, but there's nothing to go back to. There's nothing for me. There's nothing. There's no school there. There's no Dow program. There's no online classes. My teacher, he's a Qadi. He knows Normal Ali Khan personally. I see Normal Ali Khan, his books on the shelves at Amazon. I'm an employee at Amazon. So like I see bigger things. So I'm off to somewhere else. There's no way I'm gonna come back and say I have the MOA badge. I'm back. No, my thing is not even to be on top of people. A lot of those people want to be in charge of other people. They don't have no. They not holding the rings on their own life.
Yeah.
Their lives is probably all discombobulated.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that in your story, there's a lot of things that come up, and the one thing that you just reminded me of is, and Mubarak probably knows better, but the hadith where Islam came to preserve certain things, and I think it's like 5 things, like your property, your religion,
So the first thing is your religion, your intellect, okay, your wealth, your lineage, and there's another one that's escaping me right now, but your deen, your wealth, your lineage, it's getting away from me. I can't.
The ones that like, so if you're talking about a Muslim community, like you would think that you would at least have the protection of those things that Islam brings, and your brothers, his lineage, his family stolen from him, his property, his home's taken from him, his safety, like he's kicked out off the land, like who knows if he had backup and had a place to go, like it's just, people keep using this whole Muslim community and all your rights that you're supposed to get as just being a Muslim, none of them are upheld of why you're actually in that community. And I just wanted to mention that, brother. We appreciate you coming on the show. We're gonna give you a couple minutes to kind of just like a final message that you want the listeners to hear. And then I just want to say thank you, alhamdulillah, for coming on and sharing your story with us.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Alhamdulillah. Yeah. But the only thing I have to say is like, I want to put this in closing. When that happened, like I said, that underhanded what that brother did, and that same brother said that I can't do this, I can't basically rock with you no more. When he said that, when he did that, it came to his front door. They did the same thing to him, but worse. This is the Holy Quran. If you don't stop the evil with your hand on your tongue, it's coming to your front door.
Yep.
It's coming. How you gonna sit there? You hide and you close. Oh, man, and then you know how you do it. Not you, but you know how people do it at the workplace. This one, he airs out these knucklehead, the supervisors. They doing crazy stuff, and he airs them out. He may get suspended, rolled up, and all that. And then the other knucklehead, he kisses the supervisor's boot. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know what's going on. They're gonna do him worse.
Yep.
They're gonna do him worse. It's just a matter of time, So when that underhanded happened to me, they did that brother worse. They did him worse. And me and him, we rekindled and everything, and I wasn't talking to him for like a long time. He reached out to me a couple of times, and I just ignored him. But it made our bond stronger. But when you see stuff like that happening, man, at least try to help your neighbor, and observe that, man. At least speak out against it, or try to get them away, get them into safety. We got people, our way is no way like the non-Muslim way. But now you can't even make a difference but the guard. The way stuff is going on in the communities and what's going on in the dunyas and stuff like that, you got drugs in the Muslim community. You got whatever out there, and it's baffling and confusing. So if you can't stop it with your hand, just don't hate in your heart. At least speak out against it. And if everybody does that, man, we probably get somewhere.
Alhamdulillah. Oh, thank you, brother. We appreciate you. We'll stay in contact, and let us know if you need anything. Again, everybody, this is Brother Nadeem sharing his information with us. And again, appreciate may Allah bless you, may Allah guide you, may Allah, bring you back together with your kids so that they can be properly guided and away from the falsehood of all that other crap that your other side of the family is bringing them upon. So, shukran, assalamu alaikum.